Hey guys, Brent Gallagher here at Avenue Fitness in Houston, Texas, and today we're talking about embracing versus replacing. Now, it's just another way to simply say, hey, what is it that charges you up, and what is it that derails you from, I think, maintaining that kind of, that niche that we always hear about from, kind of all the marketers saying, hey, you got to define that niche, find that what works really well with you, with your facility, with the community that you serve, with your skills, with the talent that you have on your team. What are those things that really charge you up, and what are those things that are derailing you from your success? What is holding you back from it all? And there's a couple of different ways to look at this. I think in the beginning, for those of you that are rookie trainers, and I say rookie trainers are anybody that just beginning in this career, so maybe 1 to 2 years, maybe stretching a little bit into the third year. Those of you who are in this phase, you're in this exploration phase. And this exploration phase is meaning that you just got to go out and try to work with a lot of different people to see what really suits you, suits your personality, suits your style, your talents, your skills, your experiences that you have. Because we step into this industry thinking that, hey, you know what, I want to work with this group of people. But then after a couple of years, you're starting to see that you're attracting a certain group. They may not be with all in the same age group, but there is something that's in common, this psychographic about them, not necessarily the demographic, not just the age range, how much money they make, and kind of all those little things, but those psychographic. For us here at Avenue, it kind of boiled down to time. What is it about time that kept attracting people back to our 30-minute model? And we started seeing that people they were strapped for time. They're too busy. They couldn't get away. They couldn't break away to get into that hour session. So for those of you who are these rookies, again, that 1 to 2 to possibly 3 years into this industry, it's a chance for you to explore. So when we look at this and say, hey, what charges you up, what derails you right now in this phase, what charges you up should just be working with anybody that's willing to come in here. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes during this period of time. It's not a perfect time. There's going to be lots of failures. There's going to be a lot of times that that we're trying new things and it might frustrate a client and they might leave. But it's at that point that we have to step back and say, it is during this period, this kind of wilderness period, so to say, that you're just trying to find yourself. It's thinking about like kids going to play sports in the first couple of years of it, the 7, 8, and 9-year-olds, when they step into a sport, something like a soccer, and they're like, hey, you know what, we're going to play you at every position. We're going to put you in the goal, we're going to put you back at a defense, we're going to put you in the midfield, we're going to put you up front. They're exploring. They don't know what really fits them, but as they get older, maybe when they're into high school, they're starting to kind of get into a little bit more defining their niche, so to say, which moves us into the next side of things. And when you're a pro, when I say that in that pro, when you get 3+ years in this industry, you've really started to begin to understand who you are. You're starting to truly define who it is that you like to work with on a regular basis. And now that set group, that core group of people that have been with you for a couple of years, that are always attracting the same group of people, that those people that have been investing in your services for a while, they invite the same type of people in here. Now the wisdom comes in from the professional standpoint of you, of their coach, of their teacher, of their mentor, is to try to truly define what is that commonality amongst all of them. As I said before, with us, it's 30 minutes. And then we thought, okay, well, what is a little bit deeper than that? All the people that we work with are strapped for time. They don't have that hour to give. So it's not to say that one way is right or wrong. It's to say that, hey, now that we're 10.5 years into this, we're in our professional kind of athlete stage here with it. Now we're starting to say, hey, what truly defines us? In the beginning, we tried to do a lot of bigger group side of things. We started to do boot camps outside. We tried to reach outside our 4 walls, and we started to really see that, in our exploration years, that there was a lot of things that were derailing us from our success. So we simply stepped back and said, hey, let's get rid of all these things. And this is what we looked at. We said, hey, what are we going to champion and what are we going to remove from our current training status? So we said, hey, we're going to champion this 30-minute model, and we're going to champion 1 to 4 people at a time. We're not going to go bigger than that. We're not going to try to get 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 people out there. We're not going to try to run boot camps. What we're going to try to do is make sure within our 4 walls that we're working within our 30-minute boundaries, and then within the boundaries of 1 to 4 people at a time. So I don't get jealous if I see a big group class going on down the street and go, God, I wish I could have that. I'm saying, no, our sweet spot here for us, 1 to 4 people, 30-minute training, 4 people who are strapped for time. They're busy. They're simply trying to get their health back. They're trying to lose a little bit of weight, and they're strapped for time, and they're saying, hey, I need a very time-efficient workout for myself. We removed here, as we said, kind of what are you going to champion, what are you going to remove? We removed all those, I think, kind of programs and sessions and different types of workouts that we're really truly trying to kind of reach outside of our scope of practice, our sweet spot. And we said, hey, we're going to remove these, and we're going to champion this message of time-efficient workouts, and we're going to deliver them from 1 to 4 people. We're going to deliver them within our 30-minute kind of window of opportunity, so to say, when it comes in here to working with us. So I'll finish this with here as this great little quote saying, greatness is simply birthed from humility and not denial. And that humility, as we go back through all this message here of what am I going to champion, what am I going to remove, the humility comes into saying, hey, you know what? I'm good at this. This is my sweet spot. For us, again, it's 30-minute training, but the humility also comes into removing stuff and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not the best at this. There's somebody else out there who is better at this than I am. And accepting that, being okay with it. And then when you go into sitting there and you say, hey, you know what? I'm leading with humility. I'm not leading with denial. I'm not saying, hey, you know what? I can work with everybody in every different type of category. I'm the best trainer in all these different categories. You're truly defining that niche to help you understand, hey, what am I going to champion and what am I going to remove from my day-to-day kind of operations, if you will. So I want you to do this. If you need to ask any questions, follow-up emails, or anything along those lines there, reach out to me, brent@avenuefit.com. I'd love to continue this conversation of what are you going to embrace? What are you going to remove? Take this video, share it with your team, start the discussion with them, get their buy-in into it as well, because they, just as much as you are leaders within your organizations, they have ideas, they have values that I think that you should, one, start to listen to and try to respect, but then also two as well, start to bring them into the equation so they feel part of your leadership team and they feel part of the mission and vision in which you as the leader are ultimately driving your facility towards. So